everyone, it's Shel from Scrap Secrets and welcome back to my channel. Today's day 2 in the 2023 Countdown to Christmas series, and the theme is ink blending. I'm going to be using some stencils from Honeybee. The first one is called Farmhouse Tree Details. I took a piece of white cardstock that measures 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches, and I will cut this down because when I placed the stencil on, the image was too far to the right and it looked a little bit off balance. I'm now placing some washi tape over top of the images that I don't want to ink up right now. And I'm going to be using Distress ink in Evergreen Bough. One of the suggestions that I have for any stencil that is detailed and intricate like this, and they have the tiny pieces that will come up, is to take your brush or your ink blending tool from the outer and then move it towards the inner, and then do the other side towards the inner, because you're not going back and forth, and that way you won't have a tendency to pull up any of the edges like I did to a couple of these little inside pieces of the tree. But it still worked out fine. After I'm done that, I'm going to remove the stencil, replace it on top so that we can do the second layer, and that will be in pine needles. So while you're watching me ink up the second layer, I thought I would talk a little bit about this series and the giveaway. So this is a 25 days of Christmas, so there's 25 different projects. There'll be cards, there'll be some gifts. Marie and I have a theme, technique, or stamp set or something along those lines to use each and every time. So you're gonna see 2 different projects with that same idea. Oh, I will leave a link to her channel below in the more information section. I will also leave a link to the info for the introduction for this series that talks a little bit more about the giveaways, but the gist of it is comment on as many videos as possible, be subscribed to both of us, and you have a chance to win some prizes, some physical prizes and or gift cards. So back to the card. I now chose another stencil from the Honeybee Ocean Scene Builders. This is a set of 4 and they have sun rays. So this would be for, you could use it for the sun, but it's also meant for underwater. So this is one of the, if you're doing an underwater scene, this is where you would see the light come through, like the sun come through the water. And I didn't like the way that it came out. So I'm using Distress Oxide in Tumbled Glass to go back over the stenciled image and try to kind of blend that out. This paper was not the best. I think this was the one that I got, the Nina that I got from Target, and I don't love it. It doesn't blend really well, and like the color was not going on. But I think in the final project, I actually, you can see the lines a little bit on the right-hand side, but I think most of them have faded back. I could have done it on the other side too to match a little bit, but I didn't want to mess it up. I actually, after I finished this, I stopped and then started another card, and then I didn't like it as much. So here's your PSA. If you are working on a project and you don't like the way that it looks, try to keep pushing through, try to figure out what to do to save it. Because I was this far into the project and I'm like, I don't really want to start a third one. But I really did, I like the way that it turned out because I tried to figure out how to save it. So here I'm using a larger blending brush with some Salty Ocean to go around the edges, again, to kind of pull your eye away from it, make the edges a little bit darker, and see if I could get rid of those lines. And like I said, they're not totally gone in the end, but they definitely have faded back a little bit. Just going around all of the edges, trying to get as close to the tree as possible. Now you could have done a light layer of the blue already on this and then just done the green on top of it, but I wanted it to be a true color. It would be a little bit easier if, you know, I just wanted a little bit of light around the tree, so the white around the tree doesn't bother me. I did go back in after I finished this and went back in, just went over top real light, just to try to get rid of a little bit more of that white space. Now we're using 2 stencils from the Honeybee Winter Wonder background. It's a set of 6 stencils, and I'm using MFT Sweet Tooth White Pigment ink to ink up this stencil. So this is going to put snowflakes down on it, or snowfall. And the first one has smaller snowflakes and they're a little bit closer together. And the second one has a little bit larger ones and they're a little bit further apart and they go down, I believe, more towards the bottom. So this one, you can use these two stencils together or you can use them separately. I wanted to use them together. If you line them up perfectly, the snow doesn't overlap each other, but I really didn't mind that. Now, I thought that the tree looked like it was floating there. I could have put some snow down at the bottom, but I didn't want to do this again. I just wanted to do things with stencils and ink. So I'm just masking off a rectangle and using a brown blending brush that I had on my desk. This probably is maybe vintage photo or walnut stain, and just went ahead and added that in for the tree trunk. Put the stencil back down, and I'm going to be using some Nuvo drops. So that's the only non-ink blending thing that I did on this whole entire card was this. So these are Nuvo drops in gold. I added them over top of the stencil and then just used my scraper to pull it down to make sure all of the star is covered. There is a second layer that you can go ahead and add. I did it on my other piece that I did, and I didn't like the way that it came out, so I did not do it for this. I added some Honeybee Bee Creative glue to that panel, and you can see how thin that is. Attached it to a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch card base, and that's the card for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure that you check out the intro video. Make sure you check out Marie's video. Be subscribed to both of us. Leave comments, and you'll be eligible to win. All of the details for the giveaway are over on the intro video. I will link that below, and I will see you guys real soon for another video.